Have you ever set a massive goal for yourself? Like, I'm going to get fit this year, or I'll start that business, only to feel totally overwhelmed and quit after a week? Yeah, we've all been there. But what if I told you that the secret to long-term happiness and success isn't chasing huge goals? It's winning tiny battles every single day. Today we're diving into why small, daily wins actually make you happier and more successful than chasing big, distant goals. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use the power of small wins to boost motivation, beat procrastination, and finally start enjoying your progress. So grab your pen, your sketch pad, or just your curiosity, because this is going to change the way you think about success.
Part 1. The Big Goal Trap. Let's start with a hard truth. Big goals sound exciting, but they can be dangerously deceptive. Here's why. When you set a massive goal, like, I want to lose 20 kilos, or I want to make $1 million, your brain instantly compares where you are now to that giant mountain peak way up in the clouds. And guess what? That gap feels impossible. So instead of feeling motivated, you feel anxious. You start thinking, how will I ever get there? And slowly, your excitement turns into pressure, and pressure into procrastination. Psychologists call this the goal gradient effect. The further away a goal seems, the less motivated you feel to chase it. That's why we quit diets. That's why we abandon side projects. That's why New Year's resolutions fail by February. But small daily wins? They hack that system.
Part 2. The Science of Small Wins.
Here's the cool part. Your brain loves progress. Every time you make a small step forward, finish a task, drink more water, read a few pages, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical that says, hey, that felt good. Let's do it again. It's like a built-in reward system. Now, think of dopamine as your motivation fuel. Every small win gives you a tiny refill, and those refills keep you moving. Research from Harvard's Teresa Amabile found that the single biggest motivator at work isn't money or recognition. It's the feeling of making progress. Part 3. Why big goals can be emotionally dangerous. Let's be real for a second. When you're chasing something big, like writing a book, getting a promotion, or saving for your dream house, progress often feels invisible. You can work for weeks, months, sometimes years, without seeing tangible results. That emotional delay kills motivation. You start questioning yourself. Is this even working? Am I wasting my time? That's when most people quit. Not because they aren't capable, but because the emotional rewards take too long to show up. Small wins fix that. They let you feel the joy of progress every single day. And when you enjoy the process, you naturally keep going. And ironically, that's what gets you to the big goal faster.
Part 4. The Power of the 1% Better Rule.
Let's talk about one of the most powerful principles in success psychology. The 1% better rule. If you improve by just 1% every day in anything, you'll be 37 times better in a year. Not 37%, 37 times better. That's the compounding power of small wins. Think about it. One extra push-up today, one page read, one email sent, one act of kindness. Individually, they seem meaningless, but stack them up, and they become unstoppable momentum. That's how habits are built. That's how success becomes automatic. And that's how happiness stops being a destination and becomes a daily experience.
Part 5. The Story of Alex, the Burned-Out Dreamer.
Meet Alex. Every January, Alex would set huge goals. Get fit, learn coding, start a side hustle. He'd get pumped for a week, then burn out fast. Why? Because every time he slipped, missed a workout, skipped a task, he felt like a failure. Until one day, he decided to flip the script. Instead of giant goals, he focused on one tiny win per day. Just 10 push-ups, just 10 minutes of learning, just one small step. And something magical happened. Within weeks, Alex felt successful, even before achieving anything big. That feeling of progress became addictive. Fast forward 6 months, he was fit, confident, and consistent. Not because he aimed for massive change, but because he made progress feel good. And that's the secret. Success follows consistency, and consistency follows joy.
Part 6. How to use small wins in your own life. So, how can you use this in your own life starting today? Here are 3 powerful strategies. 1. Start ridiculously small. If your goal is to meditate daily, don't start with 30 minutes. Start with 2 minutes. If you want to run, don't go for 5 miles. Just put on your shoes and step outside. Make the first step so easy, it feels silly not to do it. That's how you build momentum, by lowering resistance. 2. Track and celebrate every tiny win. Keep a notebook or app where you record daily wins, even the smallest ones. Drank arced glass in water? Wrote 100 words? Didn't hit snooze? It tells your brain we're making progress, and that feeling keeps you moving. 3. Stack your wins. Once a small win becomes automatic, stack another on top. For example, you start with 5 minutes of reading daily. After a week, make it 10, then 15. This gradual growth creates an identity shift. You stop saying, "I'm trying to read more," and start saying, "I'm a reader." Part 7. Why this works so well. Small wins create a snowball effect. At first, it's tiny, you barely notice it. But every time you add a new win, your confidence grows. You start trusting yourself. You start thinking, if I can do this small thing, I can do the next one. That's how self-belief is built. Not from giant leaps, but from consistent steps. Every win whispers to your brain, you're capable, you're improving, you've got this. And the more you hear that voice, the louder it gets. Part 8. The real happiness secret. Here's the ultimate truth. Big goals make you dream. Small wins make you happy. Happiness doesn't come from reaching the mountaintop. It comes from enjoying the climb. It's not about waiting for the big moment. It's about collecting tiny victories along the way. When you learn to celebrate those, your mindset shifts. You stop saying, "I'll be happy when," and start saying, "I'm happy because I'm growing." Part 9. Your takeaway. What you can do after watching this. Now that you know the secret, here's what you can do starting today. Pick one small habit related to your big goal. Make it so easy, it's impossible to skip. Track and celebrate your progress every day. Do this for 7 days straight and watch how your mood, motivation, and confidence transform. Because when you focus on small, daily wins, you don't just move closer to your goals, you enjoy the journey there. So next time you catch yourself dreaming of a massive goal, remember this. You don't need to take a giant leap to change your life. You just need to take one small, consistent step every single day. Because happiness isn't found in the finish line. It's built in every tiny step along the way.